Hey, what's up, guys? Mike Patrick. In this video, I want to talk about our throat chakra, okay? I want to talk about our throat chakra and how many of us growing up, the reason that a lot of people may have things like speech impediments, stuttering problems, okay? Not being able to convey a sentence, a full sentence, okay? Is not for the reasons that some people may think, just off the top of their heads. Oh, somebody just can't talk, right? Somebody's just not that fluid, okay? Someone may not know how to speak proper English, whatever, right? Different reasons that we give for things that may not at all be the actual reason, okay? But they're popular reasons to try to tag certain labels on certain people and certain things and situations, okay? Um, but the thing is, guys, throat chakra, okay? A lot of you guys have grown up in situations where you had to try to speak underneath other people, if that makes sense. So you always got someone. Think about it. All of us, we growing up as little children, so we all kind of deal with this to a certain degree, right? You have to listen to your parents. You have to listen to maybe older siblings, older cousins, whoever, a babysitter, a teacher. There's always someone who you have to listen to and who you have to learn from. You're trying to gather information and what's right from wrong from, right? Well, the thing is, guys, some people may not allow you to speak, okay? Or may not allow you to talk. And so what happens is once you start to formulate your own thoughts, formulate your own ideas, and question certain things, right? There are certain people who may, who might try to cut you off, who might start to see that you're formulating your own thoughts, formulating your own ideas, formulating your own way of thinking. And if you begin to start to express that, there may be people who may not allow you to fully express that, if that makes sense, or who will attempt to not allow you to be able to fully to express that. So what happens is there's a lot of children. You might start growing up, you start talking, right? You learning your first words. Now you're starting to learn how to put together a sentence, okay? Now you're starting to formulate ideas. Now you're starting to listen to what other people are saying, have a understanding or an idea, or formulate a thought or an opinion on what is being said. So when we little kids, we go from understanding what words may mean to speaking words to understanding what directions are. Yes, no, do this, don't do this, go here, go do that. Yes, I want this. No, I don't want this. The simple things. And then we end up, being able to listen to what people are saying and to be able to decipher what people mean, what they may mean, what they might not mean, what they may mean and they don't realize they mean it, and so on and so on. You just form more more avenues of being able to decipher information, if that makes sense. All right, um so with that said, guys, there's certain people who may start to understand that. And as you are understanding what people are telling you, understanding what people are saying, understanding what people may be thinking, understanding, and so on and so on. People, if what you're understanding and deciphering, as you start to communicate back to people, if what you're understanding, if what you're communicating back may not be what they want you to be deciphering from information, then therefore people may try to cut you off. Now that's a throat chakra thing, okay guys? So for example, you start talking, right? You're a child, someone's talking to you, you start talking, then someone cuts you off in the middle of what you're saying, right? So you never get to that point where you're able to, fully convey your message, your idea without interruption, okay? And so that happens for a lot of people, and that's why a lot of people have throat chakra issues, okay? And it spills over. So that's like, that's like a spiritual thing, an energetic, emotional thing, but it spills over into people's physical world in the forms of stuttering, in the forms of not being able to form a coherent sentence, a coherent idea, okay? And so these are other things that we have to naturally have to work on with our people, which is all people. But when I say our people, I mean like just in this form of time where things like this are prevalent and where these things might not be that identified or may not be considered the reason for certain issues, but if you think about it, it makes sense. So, um, for a lot of parents who you may not let your children explain themselves, let your stop thinking you know everything. And I know that if you're older and you've been living, you have a certain amount and type of wisdom based off of your experiences, what you went through at the time that you went through it, under the circumstances you went through it. See, everything is specific. So don't just think that with age comes wisdom, okay? With age comes the wisdom that you acquired in your circumstance under your experience. It doesn't mean that you attained all wisdom. So with that said, keep that in consideration with your children. Allow your children to express themselves and express what's coming through with them uninterrupted, so they won't get used to a cadence and a rhythm of someone always cutting me off, me having to try to explain myself and try to formulate a sentence, but halfway through my sentence I can expect for someone to start running their mouth. You see what I mean? And then I can't finish my sentence. Allow your children to develop in that way also. Allow your children to be able to convey a whole sentence, even if you think that you're just so right and you're just so anxious to jump in and to convey your message and your idea. Just allow that other person to finish. And that doesn't even necessarily have to do with children and the throat chakra as far as developing with children, and developing into healthy adults in throat chakra and being able to express yourself and convey ideas and sentences. But it just has to do with respect, and even as an adult and you're no longer a child, but if there's something that you can learn, even though you may be 55 years old, it may be something you can learn on how to conduct yourself. You know what I mean? So that's another thing. Like, be patient. Even if you think, you swear up and down that your way of seeing things and what you have to say is more important or right or more right or anything like that, allow people to finish their argument or their thoughts or their sentences, okay? And then you can convey yours, okay? All right, guys. Hopefully this was a helpful video. Peace.